Hey everyone, my name is Abby and welcome back to my channel. So, today is another one of my almost monthly habits I have, and we are going to be tackling my bookcase. My current problem with how my bookcase is set up now is it just kind of flows. So we have like fantasy, young adult fantasy, dystopian, romance, young adult romance, mystery thriller, dark romance. The rest is dark romance. And especially with my Sarah Kate stuff, she's running out of room. Like I have to keep stacking and moving, and then like one of my display items has to be hidden. So I think we're gonna go back to the way my old setup was, where every bookcase is its own genre. So fantasy, romance, and dark romance. And obviously any like subcategories that fall more into it. Like romantasy I'll probably put with fantasy. Just so I know how much room I have, what I need to stop buying, what I can afford a little bit more room for. And then also I want to put on like my fantasy and my little Greek area a little, not altar space, but somewhere I can lay my crystals, my candles, my daily tarot spreads I do, and like my little tarot journal, just so there's a safe place to put them until I can find a place for an altar in this room. So without further ado, I'm gonna have to take all of this shit down. Pray for me. And yeah, I guess as I take things down I can kind of tell you like any of like the little knick-knack items, what they're used for. We're gonna go ahead and start pulling these books down, and then I'll come back when there's a little knick-knack I think is interesting for you guys. Actually, what I think I'm gonna do, sorry, so this is already the start of a fantasy shelf, so I'm just gonna pull down here down, and that way I'm not just pulling all my books out of my floor, because I don't have the mental capacity for that. And I also have two new books I need to find space for. I got Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and then this just classic mythology book. So those need a space as well. First tree that we can talk about is what is sitting on top of my Magnolia Parks universe, and that is just this cute little bee napkin holder. I don't know, I just saw it and immediately thought of Magnolia, and then I got this in a blind box. It's a little miffy, but she's wearing daisies, so how's the weather, Parks and Daisy hates. I just think they're cute, but that's sitting on top of the Magnolia Parks universe. Third of my Boys of Tommen universe. It's fine. I have this random chunk, it's not random, of graphic novels. So I have The Boys and then Sweet Tooth. So I'm just gonna put Heartstopper with them, and we'll find a better place to display them. This was a Halloween decoration for like 4 years ago. It is just a skull and some foliage, and it sits on top of the Cat and Mouse duet for Mr. Zade Meadows. this, besides the top of my fantasy, is all done. So now we should be able just to like grab and pull, and we'll walk through things as we go. Oh, that made me really exhausted for some reason. But first up in the fantasy decor items I have, Brittany gifted me this cute little bookend, which is a dragon, and then the books sit right here. So obviously we know what book this has to go for. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that right here. And that houses the Empyrean series. So yeah, 4th Iron and Onyx. In here, perfect. And our next piece is also dragon-esque. It was my Valentine's Day present. Batteries eventually. I don't even know what better. It is a little fairy village, and it has a fairy and then Andarna on it. And a little rock back there, and it lights up, has like little fairy lights, but I need new batteries. But this is gonna go to the other side of the Empyrean series, and then as the series grows, we'll have room to shift around. Continue with like adult fantasy, and then hopefully this shelf I can make into like my Greek fantasy shelf, and I can talk through the decor items I get for that when we get there. But I think we should be good because I don't have a lot of adult fantasy, and like the biggest chunk I have is gonna be the Zodiac Academy, which I want to have its own shelf. But if that doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and I'm not gonna be mad about it. We work with what we're given. I like to just keep all my hardbacks together, so these are just more fantasy, sci-fi. So I have Wool, Ministry of Time, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which will go to the opposite side of Andarna. Then we have Divine Rivals, Ruthless Vows, which is more young adult, but it isn't hardback. And then we have The Stars Are Dying and The Night Is Defying, which I need to swap because this is the first book. We have Quicksilver, Cottage Around the Corner, and then Throne of the Fallen, which I probably will never read. I just got it because Bestie Sarah has a blurb in here, and I wanted to be supportive. That's all. Beautiful. Bespelled and Bewitched, which I want to keep because these are now like the out of print covers. I just don't know when I'm going to want to read them, but it is fall season. It is getting witchier, so maybe that will help its case. So we'll keep holding on to these until someone pries them from my hands. Put the Plated Prisoner series with that, but I think I'm going to stack these this way. That way it doesn't take up that much space. Green, mint, and blue. And I know my guild book doesn't have the same spines. I know, and it frustrates me. Believe me. I don't want to speak about it. We're just gonna move the Zodiac Academy over, and here's these big daddies. Perfect. Something else to know is I am a little witchy woo-woo, and I believe in the goddesses, the spirits, all the poo-wops and doo-dops. I have my little Hecate prayer cord, prayer braid with a bunch of her little symbols and signets. So I'm gonna play this around, and I have this black cloth to lay down as kind of like a cleansing space for her. And then one of her symbols is keys. I was gifted this randomly. I think it's when I got this. They're like, oh, here you go. And it's just a cute little key, which is one of her symbols. So keys to kind of sprinkle around the fabric. And one of her other symbols is black dog. I have 3 black dogs, so you could say she loves me. I just got this paw print that is black on the inside, and then just a black handle and holder. So this is, it says I spent the fold. I was thinking of that. Like, I spent my life folded between pages of books, which is the special edition. Then I have the novellas. But I think I can, yeah, we're just gonna do this. Even though this is gonna be upside down, it's just so you can read it. So we have the Shatter Me. Then we have the second installment of the Shatter Me series, which is Watch Me. I'm just gonna put her edge out because she's so beautiful. And then I'm going to, I have the limited edition covers and then obviously the traditionally published, and I put them in timeline order. So we have Songbird, Hey Mitch, and then the series to go with that. And then boom, that's our fantasy shelf. Actually I lied. I have to make room for this book, which is a Cinderella retelling, but it's like sci-fi. So we're just gonna add her in right next to the book. Actually, yeah, just right next to the bookmarks. Beautiful. She's home. Just texting Brittany about my progress. And then obviously we'll find somewhere for Bloodguard to go when the time comes for it to be moved. I just don't know where that is right now. Now, hear me when I say this. I own 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I own 22 versions of the Boys Atomic series. So they need to be the focal point right here or right here. This area is kind of like my favorites. Not favorites, but like sportsy kind of. So we have Cowboy Romance, NBA, baseball, 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 hockey, F1, and then this is my newest like football one. So I feel like the only thing we need to really move around is going to be here down. I think that's what we're going to move, and then obviously we're going to move this around too. But I'm going to take off all the decor and we'll walk you through it. So on this shelf for the Chestnut Spring series, I just have this cute little cowboy hat. He just sits there on top of them, so precious and so cutie, to protect them. And then on my F1 books, I have 2 of Lando Norris's energy drinks. They're already drinking. I rinsed them out. I had to order these from Ohio. I don't want to talk about it. And then I started building the McLaren Lego car, and I messed up somewhere in the very beginning, and I was just going with it. But I did complete the little Lando driver, so he's on there as well. And then on this shelf, I just have this. It says Born to Stand Out. My biological father and my stepmother got this for me for my birthday, so I just put it there, even though I feel like it should go more up with like Crescent City, because it kind of gives the same vibes as Light 'em Up. So we're just gonna pop that over there. Oh, also a decor piece of that is my friend Mary, for one of our Christmas gift swaps. She got me this beautiful journal. This is of Alaris. I haven't written in it yet because I don't know what's important enough to write in here, but it's up there as well. And that's all the decor for this. And then down here I have, oh, there's stuff hidden. This is like a fake book my sister got for me, my sister-in-law got for me, and it's The Raven, and in here is just like anytime I get sent anything. So I got PR from Abby Millsaps that came with sticker sheets and a little postcard. Any letters my friends write to me is in here. Daisy Jane's letters in here. Just like anything of significance from authors that aren't like PR boxes, they live in here. Down on more of the dark romance side is my Shrek ensemble. So I have character art. So this is Sid and Marigold from the Spelled Out Seduction. I got this frame that says Welcome to Duloc, and then Shrek ears, and that sits with my GM Fairy stuff for specifically getting my swamp. But I have those, and then the next decor piece is my TBR jar. Because if you guys know anything about Boys Hallman, they're redoing the covers and actually correctly genre identifying them, because in the United States it's listed as a young adult romance and only in the US is it listed that, and it's not. So these two shelves are going to be mandatory, even more probably for the Boys Hallman. I'm debating between the black editions or the white ones. The white ones are just really pretty. So comment down below if you're still watching which one I should do. Rebound that was done for me. Rebind. It is keeping and binding and keeping. That right there. And then do the UK editions, which will change the setup when obviously the new books come out for that. Or yeah, like this we'll do here. And these are the Barnes exclusives they've been doing. So there's that. And I think we can do those this way. And then my Prides, the Eternal Embers X Larry Reed's versions of these books are my favorites. specials right here. And we can just do this. And this. I don't know. Let's look. No. The other way is better. Or I just keep it like this and just let's see if I can. Yeah. No, Johnny. Perfect. The points of comment are done. Okay. Now we'll continue. I think I had it like this. Like that. Then let's see what other books I had that really made me. In 5 Years made me sob. The Last Letter, which a special edition comes out of this next week. So I feel like if I do it, I need to put one more book next to it. We'll do The Fault in Our Stars and In 5 Years. So those can also go right there. And we'll just leave this empty spot, which means on the very bottom down here, I'll have The Way I Used to Be, Still Beating, Daisy Jones and the Six, and then the Confidence of Wildflowers trilogy. And then there's only one shelf left. This is going to be my dark romance shelf. Keep my Pride and Joys in here. So I think we're just gonna move things up besides like what's here, because I'd love for H.D. Carlton, Marina Kent, and Sarah Kate to kind of have their moment, and their moment's what they should have. So I think we're going to go into the pile behind you guys, or I'm going to go into the pile behind you guys and kind of just root around and kind of organize it and see what's what. Or I might just go ahead and put HD on the shelves and then play around with that. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, I guess. 1, 2, 1. Satan's Affair. 2 like that. And then the remainder of her books. And then my little skull. Right there. Perfect. Cool. And then, okay, so right here I have like indie books. So I have Jam Fairy, the first book in the Twisted Sister series by Daisy Jane. And I'm going to section out by author, I think. So I have Penelope Douglas, Anna Huang, and we're just going to go like that, possibly. These are all LJ Shen. This is Flowers in the Attic. The Lords, which should definitely go up near the top, actually. So they're going to go next to the indies. We have Lauren Asher, LG Shen, and Parker Huntington. We can put those together. The Ravenhood trilogy, I guess. Sierra Simone, Bryn Weaver, Runex, which I have 2 of her other books, so she needs to go with those. Allie Hazelwood. This was the book I was sent by Entangled Publishing, and I went out and I bought the first book in the series. So yeah, very well versed. So those need to stay together. And then I have Cherry by Michelle Rosa, Lights Out, and The Nanny, which are kind of just one-offs, which can go with Allie Hazelwood because I don't have a lot of Allie Hazelwood books. Now that they're organized, I feel like I need to pull off that shelf, and if there's more similar authors, I need to put them in their respective piles. So I'm gonna do that. Daisy Jane, which I want in that pile. Lee Rivers, I want up there. This is The Fabric of Our Souls. Katie Roberts. I'm sorry if I'm ever crooked. My tripod's not well. Willow Winters, Danielle Laurie, one-offs, Laura Thalassa, which I have Bewitched and Bespelled, but this is the Four Horsemen, another one-off that I don't own the rest of the series. Slay Less, Jennifer Hartman, beautiful. So these are also one-offs. Then I have Runex, what I'll put with her hardcovers. I have Hooked and That Sick Love, another one-off, but she's indie published, so I want her with her friends. And then these are all my special editions, if you want to say it, or they just have sprayed edges. Cool. So, Kiss the Basilic. The edges are just so beautiful, so I keep that together. And then the next I'm not doing to promote this author. I bought the books, and I can go into a whole story time about the problems I had ordering the books. But I have the first edition of Forgive Me Father by Katarina St. Clair, prior to her being canceled for using AI generated art in this entire book. She has then since released 18 editions of this book. Whatever, I already purchased it. I got it just so I can have the cover out. This book I've never read because I pre-ordered it in February and it said to be at my house by March 31st for release date, and there were thousands and thousands of delays and unanswered emails, to then which I had to put in a dispute with my bank, and I finally got my book a couple days later. And we were told it would come with all these extra goodies, yada yada yada, and we ordered it. It was supposed to come with a bookmark, character art, and stickers. And so I got those, but there's no other extras, and it's kind of crappily done, but I spent my money on it, and she's a very small author. Not very small, but she's a smaller author, and I don't think my bookstores will purchase her books. So I just keep the edges out because it says Soar Already Princess, and it's Teacher's Pet by Katarina St. Clair. Then I have Pen Pal, and it says I'll wait forever. I'll wait forever if I have to. And the last one is just the special edition of Hook that says Darling on it. So those are like my pretty display books that I keep out. And the last one is the indie published version of Den of Vipers. So that needs to go out as well. Cool. We should put I'm gonna say let's put Penelope Douglas there. And then we'll do Penelope Douglas, Lords, Legacy of God / Rena Kent, Sarah Kate, Runex, and then fill in the blanks. Or Runex, Indies, one-offs, fill in the blanks. Cool. What did I say we're doing? Penelope Douglas. Ugh. Oh, we have room. Okay, what's another? Here's another girl I got. We'll do, I want to keep it dark. So let's do Flowers in the Attic trilogy. They're beautiful. And then I said Sarah Kate. Yes, I did. I said Sarah Kate. So I think we're gonna do praise, like standard up. Cash. Bitter. And then we'll go into the good girl effect, which is the new generation. Then we have our other books that I'll keep out like this maybe. Or we'll do this bookstore. We have The Beautiful Duet, which is a two-sided book. And then The Antihero by Arc Red for the Prodigal Son in that series. I just don't own it. And then we have Keep Me, which is coming out, continuing series, and then Gravity and Freefall, which is the Wild Boys. Like that. Okay. And then I'll put my TBR jar here just to kind of keep the space, and obviously as we digress things can move up and be moved around. So there's that. And then we'll put Runex up here as well. Cute, cute, cute. Perfect. And now we'll move down here. Okay, so one of my major things was the White Buddy Mask, which the heathens use for initiation. So that needs to be displayed here, obviously. So I have the first book, it's book 1, but there's a .5 before this that starts the Rena Kent universe. Also found at a local used bookstore. So I have that. Then I have the indie version. Then I have the indie version of Legacy of Gods, and then the Bloom edition. Bloom editions, and then Beautiful Venom. I need to buy Kiss the Villain still, but it's a work in progress. So what I think I'm gonna do is for this, we'll just unstack them like that. And then Beautiful Venom, it can go out here. But then also maybe the first 3, even though I love Jeremy, he's one of my babies, I can put this around the first 3 like that. Okay, and then we'll put the Minsky getting addressed, even though it blocks the first 3 books. I feel like it gets the point across. And this way, because this series is also being expanded as well, so I need the room for it. Beautiful indie authors and all that fun stuff. So I think just to set the tone, we do Welcome to Duloc, which is for the Shrek book, and then I just tuck Shrek's ears behind it, and then we can also put Marigold, or I'll put Marigold and Winston in the frame. And then we'll start with, obviously, Gem Fairy. I am lending out my Shrek book, so that's why she's not in here. But I think for her, we should go this way. Then we'll do Jessie Hall, Lee Rivers, Daisy Jane. Oop. No, I got our second, third book. Then I also have Den of Vipers. And then I think we'll keep the same special editions. We'll just have them facing outwards instead. Have fantasy, romance fiction, dark romance. But I think it looks so good. Like I said, that will eventually change. And that's just a book I plan to get rid of, and then like an extra accessory I don't have space for. But we are pretty freaking full. I can obviously put those up and we have more room. But I am in love. Thanks for spending this video with me and helping me reorganize my shelf. Y'all were such a big help. But I am so excited. I love the way it looks, even though I just said that. It's really fun to reorganize your shelf, so if you haven't, you definitely should. But thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!